These look amazing. These are going to be perfect.
Treffer.
There it is.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf. Treffer.
Wow. Hello everyone and welcome to U-Boat, the German World War II submarine combat management game simulator thing. It's several different things. So yeah, this is U-Boat, the game where you control a German Untersee or U-boat or submarine, whatever you want to call it, and sink Allied shipping, strangling the lifeblood of the British Empire, because we all know that if Winston Churchill had run out of scotch, the war would have ended in 1940. Anyway, this game has a lot of different aspects to it, and this opening video of this series, we'll call it, is probably going to be much longer than any one of us wants it to be, but there's a lot to go over in the very first video. So first things first, we are in third-person view. You can play the game entirely in first person, but it's a nightmare because I have tried it. So we're going to play it in third person. So the first thing we're going to do is select our captain here from our officers aboard the ship. We have Captain Graf, the chief officer of the boat. We have First Officer Kohler, kind of our navigation officer and ship disciplinarian. We have Adam Newman, our radio operator and hydrophoneman, sonar man, basically. We have Felix West, our chief engineer, chief mechanic of the boat, and we have Leo Loris, the second mechanic of the boat, and our torpedo officer. So we got these guys. We need to select our skipper, and we have to go over here to the leading officer, Klaus Schmidt, to get our orders for the next patrol. I left the audio in German because the German is much more interesting to listen to than the British English accented voiceover. So, are there any orders from the Admiralty? Let's see what Berlin wants us to go do today. Patrol Sector CE, okay. Travel 2,000 kilometers inside of it. Join the Port of Bergen flotilla. I don't know. I don't think we're going to do that. And then the hard one, Patrol Sector CG, and travel 2,500 kilometers inside of it. We're going to do the easy one to start with, because our ship is very basic, not outfitted with a lot of nifty stuff yet. So we're going to do a super easy mission. We're going to go over here to Wolfgang Mayer, and we're going to recruit some sailors. Now we have almost a full boat of sailors right now. We have the 5 officers, and we have 17 enlisted men. We're going to get one more, Dieter Weber, and we're going to assign him to the boat. So we have a full crew of 23 sailors. We can increase that in the future if we want to, but we don't have the experience to do that at the moment. And then the last place we're going to go is over to Hans Feische here, and we're going to get some supplies for our U-boat. So we need, show me what you got. First things first, equipment. We have spare parts and scrap metal to make spare parts. We have potassium absorbers for the ventilation system. We have high explosive shells for the deck guns. I think we're good. Food, we could use a little bit more. We got 50 canned bread and 50 preserved pork. Let's throw some potatoes in there and some vegetables in there, because your crew's happiness will be affected by the food on board the ship. So if you have just canned bread and jerky, they're not going to be very happy. Ammunition. Now for the deck gun, we have high explosive, armor piercing, and starlight shell rounds. We are going to load a few extra armor piercing rounds, just 15, because they're going to help us dispatch any ships that don't immediately sink from a torpedo strike. Fuel, we're going to top off our fuel. Pretty simple. We want to be able to travel as far as possible. Torpedoes we're going to come back to in a second, because as you can see, this torpedo is being moved. It's being loaded by our torpedo man, and we're going to wait until he gets all 4 tubes, or all 5 tubes loaded, because we have 4 bow torpedo tubes and 1 in the stern. and then we'll come fill up torpedoes. That way we have the maximum amount of torpedoes aboard the ship.
Rohr 2 geladen.
Alright, and then items, we have, you know, a helmet, small arms in case we have to board a ship, rebreathers to make repairs underwater, and coffee. We're going to need a whole lot of coffee. Cool. Alright, so let's quickly back out here. Goodbye. We're going to jump over to Leo Loris here.
Herr Kaloy?
He is working on loading the torpedo tubes. Now, we need this done a little bit quicker, so we're going to assign, we can do it here or we can do it over here. We're going to assign 2
Jawohl.
sailors
Zu Befehl.
to help him. So we have Daniel and Albert are going to help him load the torpedo. That's going to help increase the speed that he can do that now that he has, you know, a couple able-bodied young sailors to help him. So we're going to also speed up time so we can get that done even quicker. So we got tube 3,
Rohr 3
bingo,
geladen.
tube 4, scrub it down, lube it up, phrasing,
Rohr 4
and
geladen.
all the way to the rear of the ship for tube 5. Engine rooms, there we go, tube 5. Now he has to do this one alone because there's not enough physical space in this rear compartment. This is the emergency, oh crap, we screwed up torpedo. So we hopefully won't be needing to use the rear torpedoes too much. Yep, scrub it down, and
Rohr
bam.
5 geladen.
Alright, we're going to pause our time. Well, not pause, we're just going to put it back at normal speed. And we're going to go back over here.
Was brauchst du, Herr Kaloy?
Oh, we're Leo now. Show me what you
Schau
got.
mal.
Now we're going to load our torpedoes up. So we got all 5 tubes loaded, so we have lots of extra storage space. We're going to spend... We're just going to do the Type 1 torpedoes now. Actually, no. I changed my mind. We're going to do the Type 2s. Type 2 torpedoes, the electric torpedoes, as opposed to the steam-powered torpedoes. They're a little more reliable. So let's get those loaded up. We're probably going to run out of money before we fill up on torpedoes. That's okay. Yeah, we're out of money. Alright, well, we got enough torpedoes to do something if we get into trouble. So let's exit, say goodbye, and now we got to wait for 2 days while our equipment gets loaded onto the boat. So we're just going to skip ahead, and we'll be ready to set sail. Alright. All our stuff is loaded. It is the 23rd of May, 1941 at 11:20 a.m. And we are going to select Captain Graf here. Where's Captain Graf at? Ah, he is on the targeting sites. Alright, so. Oh, that was weird. I thought there was water in my boat. I had a panic attack. Alright. All our crew is aboard. Our officers are at their stations except for Kohler, who is sleeping because, hey, why not? So we're going to go up here, we're going to select the telegraph, and we're going to tell the engine room we want forward to, or in German it'd be Langsfahrt. Langsfahrt? I don't know. I don't know German. I want to know German. German would be fun to learn. So we are going to slowly ease our way out of port here. And as we're easing our way out of port, we are going to select a course that takes us around all these islands.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
And that's just by right-clicking, holding shift, and right-clicking again. And we're going to... Where's our patrol area? We're patrolling sector... Oh, way down here. Sector CE, or Charlie Echo, with all these little islands in it. Alright, so let's set another course marker to take us out to sea a little bit.
Sieh den Kurs an.
And then from there we can navigate down to the patrol sector we're supposed to be in. So let's get back to our submarine. I may have told them to turn a little early because we are running into the dock. It'll buff out, don't worry. Alright, we are underway. And just to make this a little more interesting for everyone involved, we are going to skip ahead to when we're out in the open ocean. Alright, a little time jump later, and we are now getting ready to exit the Bay of Biscay. This bay we're pretty safe in. It's once we start getting out into the open Atlantic here that we can start running into Allied air patrols and random convoys and destroyer escorts and all that all that fun stuff that we want to run into, but sometimes don't. So let's see. It is 1:20 in the morning, and as you can see, it is dark. You probably can't even see what's going on, because I've got the difficulty settings set to normal, but some of the harder things on the game, like realistic darkness for night, curvature of the earth so you can't see things beyond a certain distance because they're under the horizon. A couple things like that are turned on just to make the game slightly more difficult. So we're not going to be able to see anything right now, but the good thing is no one can see us, because it is currently nighttime and we are a very low profile target to the water, so we can run on the surface at full speed without having to worry about being, murdered. So, real quick, let's run through the real quick basics of how this works. We're going to stay out of the engine room because it is incredibly loud. So you have control over your officers here. You can assign them to different tasks. We have Klaus on lookout on the bridge, on the conning tower. We have Mr. Kohler here. He is the navigation station. That basically means we're going to stay plotted on the map and not get lost. If you don't have someone doing this for, I think it's 12 hours, you will disappear from the map and you won't be able to see where you are, and that can be a problem because you might run aground. So you want to keep someone on the navigation station pretty regularly. Adam Newman is in the radio room. He's going to be sending and receiving transmissions. Oh, we have a transmission. He's going to decode that. That might be mission orders. It might be letting us know it's Hitler's birthday. I don't know. Something. You have Mr. West here working on the diesel engines, and it's very loud in the diesel engines. I'm going to scroll out a little bit. So he's running the diesel engines. The more sailors you have helping him, the faster you can go. For example, if we were to get rid of that sailor, we now can't travel at top speed, and if we were to take him off the engine completely, we would even lose another speed ability. So we're going to keep him on duty with help so that we can travel as fast as possible. Right now we're going to be getting about 18 knots. We can go a little faster normally, but because the sea is choppy, that's going to eat up some of our speed. And then we have Loris sleeps most of the time unless he's covering for Felix. The reason why is because he is going to be instrumental in preparing and firing the torpedoes when we encounter enemy ships. So we want him well rested and ready to go. You will see, first let's check our messages. Have a fruitful patrol, U-96. Yes, we will. Alright. You can also write little comments or notes for your missions. I typically don't, but we might, just for fun, just so we can go back in the future and remind ourselves what great deeds we accomplished. A couple other things you need to know. Up here you have your map button. You can also just hit M. You have the manual rudder, so you can command the ship to turn at a certain angle. It will hold that turn until you tell it to straighten back out. Right now we have it on auto, follow the course we set, so it's kind of bouncing around as we bounce on the waves. You have your depth meter. You can command the ship to a specific depth, or you can tell it to run on the surface at deck awash, which means just barely out of the water, and then periscope depth, and then if you are under attack and need to get out of there, you just hit this and it'll go to the maximum safe depth, which is about 150 to 200 meters. Across the top here you have your budget. Not a big deal because this game super pays well when you start sinking ships. You have your reputation, which we don't need to worry about right now. You have the discipline of your crew. This is important because as the crew gets more and more stressed, it's harder for them to do their job, and if crew discipline gets to 0, there's a random chance that one of your sailors is going to have a mental breakdown, start screaming and freaking out, which you really don't want when you're 100 meters under the water, being very quiet because the destroyer is trying to drop depth charges on you. So keep the crew happy. Obviously you have your oxygen. We're on the surface, so we're not losing oxygen. We're venting to the open air. We have our fuel, and we have our battery life. So keep an eye on all those. They're important, especially the oxygen. I have suffocated more crew than I would like to admit. So let's zip ahead to our patrol area. Hopefully nothing bad will happen between now and then. Alright, as you can see by the map, we have entered our patrol sector, and the first thing we need to do is radio land and let them know we have actually made it to the patrol sector, and we're going to begin seeking out targets, looking for allied shipping, all that fun stuff. So we're going to assign a helper to Adam Newman because we are out of range of the Porte La Roche. There we go. Sending that, and we'll get 500 credits. Nice. Alright, so there's a couple things you can do once you enter your patrol sector. You can run on the surface, do your 2,000 kilometers, and go home. There's a random chance that you will be assigned missions. You might have to hunt down a convoy or go investigate a lost friendly submarine, something along those lines. Or you can be proactive in your search, and what we can do is we can actually dive the boat down to periscope depth or even a little deeper, send Mr. Newman here to the hydrophones, and have him try to listen for propeller noise and possibly go find us a convoy to sink. So I think we're going to do that so we can sink something. So we are going to command the vessel to periscope depth. You will see that the crew automatically starts to clear the bridge, because no one wants to be up here when we go underwater. Leo Loris automatically stops what he's doing and comes to manage the diving valves and starts flooding the tanks. Can't see. Where is he? Ah, there he is. Yep, managing the valves. In fact, let's
Herr Kaloi?
Bestätigt.
zoom in here, take a look. So yeah, the crew is ready to go, we're ready to dive. And slowly but surely, we will start to ease our way under the water. And while we're doing that, we're going to command Adam here to go to the hydrophone room and start listening. The other thing you need to do is slow your ship down when the hydrophone is running, so you can actually hear what is going on. So if you go to the map here, you can see you have how far your watch officer can see out of the periscope or out of his binoculars, whatever. And as we slow down here, we start to get a bigger hydrophone bubble. Now, that bubble is where things will be absolutely for sure detected. Like, there is no question you can start identifying targets, but you will hear propeller noise pretty far away most of the time. So if we speed up time here, and we even slow the ship down a tiny bit more, we should be able to hear some propeller noise eventually. Alright, I got time paused, and by paused I mean just very, very slowed down. We have one contact to the northwest here, which is good because we need to surface the boat because our battery is about to run out. So let's surface the ship.
Tanks anblasen!
And we're going to need to do a couple things here. So he's running
Diese Koordinaten setzen.
west to east, so we're going to head north to intercept him. Yeah, I know we're out of batteries. That's alright. So we are on the surface, which means we should be switching to diesel engines here any second.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor.
There we go, and we will start to gain electricity back. Perfect. We're refilling oxygen. We also need to turn on our air compressor back here so that our that compressed air we used to blow out the ballast tanks gets refilled. So we're going to have Leo do that. And we are going to assign helpers to the engine rooms and the navigation station so that we have... Actually, we're going to assign Leo to sleep, and we're going to have Felix manage the engines because we are going to want him rested to load torpedoes for us when we go to sink this ship. So, get everyone to their stations. Full speed ahead. And let's get in position. There he is. We have visual contact on a smokestack or something. So we're going to send Newman to the radio room. And we're going to
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten
come up
setzen.
behind this guy. We're going to mess with the
Kurs
time
auf diese Koordinaten
dilation a
setzen.
little bit. He's moving pretty quick. He may not be a convoy vessel. I really hope we didn't just stumble across a... Oh! It's a friendly submarine. Alrighty then, that was pointless. Well, let's zip zap zoop the other direction, see if we can't find a different target.
12 seconds later.
Alright, so we broke contact with the submarine, we're underwater again, and we have another propeller
Legen
noise
Sie den Kurs
contact.
an.
Aye, aye, Herr Kaloi.
Traveling west to east again. So let's do the same thing. Let's surface the boat.
Anblasen.
Can't see anything because it's nighttime anyway.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor. Legen Sie den Kurs an.
Bestätigt.
Alright.
Auf Seerohrtiefe gehen.
So it's a lot of zipping around, listening, waiting for targets.
Kurs
But
auf
if you
diese
do it right,
Koordinaten setzen.
which I seem to be
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloi.
not. Alright, so after misidentifying propeller noise as our own friendly submarine, we have contacted another group. This should be a
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
enemy convoy. I don't see why it shouldn't. Typically, the small convoys are groups of 1 to 3, so we're going to slowly make our way. We are still at periscope depth. We're going to slowly make our way toward this target here. And we should have visual contact. Aha, there we go.
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
Alright, so our alarm is set. We need to do a couple things here. So we're going to select Graph. He's getting tired, but we need him on the periscope. So we are going to have him drink some coffee. Drink some more coffee. We're going to have our hydrophone
Zu Befehl.
man, Newman, drink some coffee. Because I don't have time for them to sleep. Alright. Everyone should be back at their stations. Newman, I need you to send that report. And then get on the listening room. Alright. Loris, you need to start warming torpedoes. We're going to slow down to 10 knots. Or, well, 10 knots if we were on diesel engine. Forward 2. That's what we need. Alright. So we're going to
Kurs auf
move
diese Koordinaten setzen.
into
Aye, aye, Herr
position
Kaloi.
to start visually spotting these targets. Now, you can manually input torpedo firing data, you know, the course, speed, and all that, but for this time, we're going to do it automatically. How we do that is we go over here, we select one of the freighters. It is unknown, we just know it is a freighter. We don't know who it belongs to, but we do know... Oh, that looks like a Liberty ship. Ooh, that's going to be a good target. We're going to target that one first. So we're going to set Klaus and Adam
Torpedo ausrichten.
to start prosecuting these targets, and in fact, we can... Please warm up the torpedoes. Thank you. Alright, we're going to actually even set Kohler
Kapitän.
to the observation periscope so we can get a third person even to help prosecute targets. So if we click on the Liberty ship again, I'm pretty sure it's a
Torpedokurs
Liberty ship.
berechnen.
So they're going to start prosecuting that target. We're slowly creeping in. We're 5 kilometers away. We're going to
Kurs
even
auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
come in at a more extreme angle so we can get a little closer before they pass by us. So let's take a look at this guy. Now, again, normally you wouldn't be able to look at your enemy target like this, but this is the Lady Rodney. She is flying the English Commonwealth flag, so she is a British vessel. And she is a Liberty-class ship, it looks like, so that should be a target we can prosecute and go after. Yep, down here, Liberty, name unknown, the Lady Rodney. I don't know any ladies named Rodney, but hey, whatever. So let's go and leave this view. We are cruising over here. You can see him. That's cool. So let's... So you can do this manually, and it's kind of interesting, but it takes a long time. So let's zoom in here. Yeah, we got him currently prosecuting the Liberty. We don't know his speed. Let's at least find out his speed manually. We can do that by going to the chronometer here, and when the ship passes that center line, we're going to hit start. And we're going to speed it up, and when he passes that center line again, we're going to hit stop. Alright, he's traveling at 5 knots. That sounds about right. He is 4 kilometers away. That is quite the shot to make on him. Let's see if we can't get a little bit closer as we scoot forward here. Alright, we've just about fully prosecuted the Liberty ship as a target. We're going to switch over and have... We're going to have Adam finish prosecuting the Liberty so we get 100% target identification on him. We're going to have Klaus and Herbert start identifying this NA-1 freighter, which is also flying in the Union Jack. And you can see the name on the front too. The USS Proteus. The USS? Interesting. That must be some Lend-Lease coming from the United States. Oh well, we're going to sink it anyway. So they're identifying the NA-1. His course is 96.3 degrees, which seems... yeah, that seems right. They're traveling pretty much due east. Part of me feels like the course estimate for the Liberty is not correct. No, it's correct. We're good. So as soon as the NA-1 has a decent torpedo calculation on it, we will start firing torpedoes at these guys. We're getting there. We'll have Adam Newman help them out, because we should be... alright, 91% is good enough for me. We're going to fire on the Liberty first. So we're going to select the Liberty. Select the Liberty. Select the Liberty ship. There we go. Just to be super sure, we're going to have these guys still target them, make any last-minute adjustments to the torpedoes. Alright, Leo has warmed up all our torpedoes. We are going to flood tubes 1 and 2. And now you can't change the torpedo speed or the dispersion right now.
Rohr 1 bewässert. Rohr 2 fertig.
But both tubes are loaded. We're going to fire.
Los!
There's 1. And 2 are away. We're going to switch to the NA-1 tanker, whose name is the USS Proteus, something like that. Come here. Can I not select you? Hello? Why are you being a pain in the butt? There we go. We'll assign all these guys to make any last-minute adjustments to his course. We're only going to load 1 torpedo for this guy because he's a tiny little ship. We might miss, but that's okay.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
Los!
We need to do this kind of quickly, because as soon as the Liberty gets hit, the NA-1 is going to freak out. Alright, so our torpedoes are away.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
Our first 2 torpedoes have covered half the distance. We can actually, if we do this carefully... I said if we do this carefully, we can actually follow it in. Alright. They don't
40
suspect
Sekunden
a
bis
thing.
Torpedoeinschlag.
40 seconds to impact. That looks good.
30 Sekunden.
We might get one right in the rear and one right in the front. That's going to be a nice set of hits.
20
Can we see
Sekunden.
the other torpedoes yet? Or the other torpedo? Nah, we're not going to be able to see with the glare.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
Alright. The
10
third
Sekunden
torpedo has
bis
covered
Einschlag.
half the distance. We're 10 seconds to impact. These look amazing. These are going to be
Rohr 1
perfect.
geladen. Treffer.
There it is.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf. Treffer.
Wow.
40 Sekunden
Solid
bis
hits.
Torpedoeinschlag.
Lifted that boat right out of the water. Where is torpedo... Torpedo 3 is on its way.
30 Sekunden.
Oh yeah, that Liberty is all sorts of screwed up. It's on fire.
20 Sekunden.
Oh, it's like on fire, wow. Alright. It's flooding. I think we just sunk this Liberty ship, but we're not going to speak too quickly.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
We got 10 seconds to impact on the... Oh, yep, the Liberty is evacuating its crew. Ooh, the USS Proteus sunk with one torpedo. Very nice. We're going to switch Adam Newman to the radio. We don't need the hydrophone anymore. Oh, we have a message from the Lady Rodney. Let's have him decode that. That's probably an SSS message, or an SOS message, which means we need to get out of here pretty dang quick, so that we are not here when the British Navy shows up. Let's let them know we sunk the Lady Rodney as well. Oh, I guess we didn't get the message from the Lady Rodney decoded before she sank. Oh well, I don't know why that matters, but hey.
Kurs setzen.
Alright, let's surface the ship, refill our oxygen. We can plunder the goods that have come off the ships we sunk. Oh man. We did a number on them. Alright, let's quickly surface the boat. Bring the speed up.
Schneller, schneller!
Set course for the wrecks, and we'll salvage some of these goodies. Well, maybe not. Those are empty.
Wechseln auf Dieselmotor.
Do these have anything good in them? Nope, we literally sunk ships with no cargo. Alright, well, anyway, let's at least get out of the area so we can break contact. We do not want to be here if any British aircraft or destroyers show up to rescue crew or whatnot. Oh, we have an incoming radio message from what sounds like the Eric Boy. That might be a enemy ship coming to the aid. So we have some options here. We can sit and wait, or we can we'll sit and wait and ambush them, or we can get out of here and save our skins. I think I know what I want to do, but let's see. Let's see what this message says. Alright, so the Eric Boy has reported a giant smoke column at basically our position. So what that could mean is he is close enough to see what just happened, which means there might be some other targets out there for us. But we're going to leave the episode here. We have just sunk 2 transport ships, our first kills. More to come. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.